Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, child looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I say to hell
On
with it.
Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
You're welcome back, and you're still on to Core TV News Lagos, the program Core Digest. Our topic, the Mile 12 market crisis, the unwanted destruction. And I gave you a little background from one crisis from Lagos to Benue to Plateau to Taraba to Kaduna, even to the east, is one communal clash or the other. Whether Nigeria, whether its people.
You know, yesterday I gave you a personal experience. As a youth corper, about 30 how many years ago now, I met a northerner, okay, a Muslim, in camp, and then we started dating. We got on so well that we were planning to marry. But when the lady went on to tell her parents that, look, I met a guy in the camp, NYC camp, and we've gotten on very well, we want to marry. The moment they heard that I'm a Christian and Yoruba, they did everything to make sure that the relationship ended at that point. And that was one of the reasons why NYC was established, to integrate,
to foster national unity, integration, everybody
across all ethnic barriers. That's one. That's was a personal loss on my side. But Sato and I, we were a pair.
I hope your wife is not watching you right now.
It doesn't matter. This happened before I even got to meet her. Okay? Now. So yesterday, I understand it was an Okada rider of a northern extraction that ran into a pregnant woman while he was driving.
The pregnant woman could have been from a northern extraction
or wherever.
Yeah.
So that was what created all the mayhem. But my take is this, which was what I said when Boko Haram started. I was recommending, when they were talking of community policing and all that, I said, look, people, a lot of them who are mounting those things, they don't understand what it meant. Another talk of community leadership, okay? A place like my 12, with an assembly of people from across the length and breadth of Nigeria, should have had an organized leadership structure from each and every ethnic group, such that when anything goes wrong anywhere, those people are there to intervene, okay? And at their levels too, they must cohabit. So yesterday, if it had been there, they would simply have reported to those people, bring whoever is involved to their office, etc., or wherever, maybe their palace or the home, and resolve it. But unfortunately, it became something else. And the question you want to ask yourself is, we are all Nigerians. Why are we always turning fire and gun and petrol and bomb against ourselves right here in our fatherland? You guys were telling me that, that I live in Kabul, that it's a war zone. Is Nigeria not a war zone now? That young boy that we saw in the picture, I don't know what how he will grow. Each time he remembers his experience. The background, look at the background, like it's in a war situation, and it was moving off the war.
That was his war zone.
I mean, so if from this age, you and I grew up here, and remember those days when we heard that bombing was happening in Lebanon, in Beirut, and all those places. It was so far and so distant, it didn't make sense to us. But to now attain adulthood, and we are not living with these things, for me, it's a failure. I mean, it's a reflection of failure of leadership, and I mean at all levels, without exemption. Because if there were structures to manage all of these things, you shouldn't have gotten this far. Unfortunately, it has been reoccurring. This is not the first one. The hottest I ever had in this Lagos was the Jaraba crisis then. That made me, and I came to Nigeria on holiday then, and it was hell everywhere. Yesterday when I got to K to my 12, I couldn't believe what I saw. I mean, it was too barbaric and it was too vivid. And cars, things were set ablaze, massive destruction. People, I saw a man whose hands and legs were tied and then set ablaze. For crying out loud, why this? People have lost their means of livelihood. They've lost their houses. They have nowhere to go, nothing to do now. And these are things. People who must work every day to feed every day. So where do they go from various situations? So, like I told you, I will always keep saying, we need continuous public enlightenment, reminding people that violence pays.
That's just one of several solutions that probably will bring up. Kaude, Aria has talked about failure of leadership, and when we are talking of leadership, it's not necessarily just the governor, the president, the president of the Senate and the rest. Maybe leadership at home,
Community level,
at the community level and the rest,
family level.
But this incident did not happen spontaneously, so to speak. It happened, and in 72 hours, gradually it was building up on it until it exploded. Besides what he had preferred about, market leadership, embracing different ethnic groups and the rest as a way of check and balances, where was the police here or intelligence gathering? I probably should be asking Ari of this because you are the
right.
experts.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm taking that.
It's all right.
Now, we've always said that we need to rework and re-expand our security architecture. They seem to be out of sync with dictates of present-day crime fighting, crime prevention,
particularly in Lagos because of the population.
And I'll tell you what, the ocean keeps increasing by the day.
Why are the helicopters even bought by the governor for the police? Are they patrolling?
There was a case somewhere where somebody was shot. They had to be hovering around the spot, and that was what stopped the area boys, from making it another crisis. So they are working, but we're talking about intelligence gathering now. Again, for a community that is so massive and so diversified, we'll have expected that there will be penetrations of security. If it means getting stores and making them sell pepper and tomato, they're not there to make profit or whatever. What they are doing is to sniff for information. And I tell you what, they will have live and hands-on and immediate information, which of course they will make available to the respective agencies. And like I always say again, they also should do information sharing, and that way things like that would have been prevented. Because if when that thing happened, the security got wind of it and they quickly moved by positioning their men, and they saw them physically, nobody dares.
Because if a man had committed a traffic offense and there's been a kind of minor or major accident, you want to call it, and the traffic police people, even LASMA, if they had waded in, we probably
would have terminated the case on the spot. But it's still a problem because I know personally what effort the man heading LASMA now is putting in to make sure LASMA lives up to his billing. But to a large extent, they still hang out there because of money that they will collect. I was coming from DRA yesterday. I was going to cross, via the old Nightel into Sheraton Hotel, right? And what happened? A policeman was busy at that very busy T-junction, harassing a taxi driver. And I asked her, what is the offense? He said, he asked him to stop. He didn't stop. And I said, by now creating additional mayhem, what have you achieved? You should have just simply sent the man away. Rather than doing this, of course, all of it was because they want to extract money from the guy.
Some people would not agree with
It's
you. If the taxi driver had committed a road traffic offense, the taxi driver should be arrested.
If he was, unfortunately, she was the only person at that spot. Okay, which one is far more important? To abandon the entire crowd and create a higher child chaos, or because you want to arrest a person or get him sent away, so that you don't. And meanwhile, they were selling fuel at Total, so which now made the axis very
narrower.
Come on, common sense should be brought to bear in all of these things.
Okay, let me ask Kayode here. The issue of the intolerance, it's what benumbs me. Organizations like yours, yes, we know you're for specifics, but we have thousands and thousands of NGOs and the rest. And this thing that seems to be missing is that public enlightenment. Public enlightenment, not only from civil society organizations, even from government and the rest. We don't see anything preaching tolerance, preaching oneness, preaching unity.
Well, I will respond this way. You see, we have a problem in Nigeria right now. And that problem is that in our heart of hearts, as Nigerians, we are more divided, more ethnically conscious, religiously conscious than we claim to be united as one Nigerians. Everywhere you go, Nigerians are conscious of where they come from, the ethnic part of Nigeria that they come from. And that is always the cause of some of these communal clashes here and there. My 12 is an ethnically contested place, inclined place, where when you go to my 12, if you have been there before, you can easily see where the northerners, who the northerners are, where they converge, where the association is. You can easily see where the Igbos are. You can easily see where the Edos are, Yorubas, and all of that. So, and everybody is conscious of that ethnic, coloration, where they come from, and they even talk about it. So, that is one of the problems that we are facing right now in Nigeria. And it is orientational. It is part of our orientation. Some of the problems that we are battling with in Nigeria today is about our orientation as a people. And so, in our own organization, we work against any form of abuse. What happened yesterday was, I would term it an economic abuse through, commission of traffic abuse. The Okada rider who caused this problem, was he right? Was he right? What the act he perpetrated, was it enough for his people to go and build up, a kind of army of confrontation against the people who were trying to punish him for what he did? My brother, if you see what the last man people that you are talking about, some of them, if you see what they go through, yes, there is no perfect organization. There can never be perfect last man, in as much as we cannot have perfect Nigeria. Every Nigerian is just in one place or the other for the purpose of economic survival. Some of these last man boys don't even want to be last man. If they had their choice, they want to be something else. But because of the economic survival issue, the state of the nation economy, you just see everybody just applying for even jobs they are not passionate about. Many of these last man people are not passionate about the job, but they know that once they are in the uniform, they can always survive economically. An average policeman knows that once he is in that police uniform, he can survive, even beyond his salary. So, the fact of the matter is, are Lagosians ready to obey the law? Are Lagosians ready to obey the law? If that Okada rider had kept the traffic rule that says it is against the law, it's not right, it is illegal to ride against traffic, and that is where the question I'm going to ask now will come from. Must every route in any part of Nigeria, not only Lagos, must every route, including riding against traffic, be Okada route? If you observe the way the Okada riders ride, orientationally, it is in their orientation mentality that in as much as it is a bike Okada, then every route must be their route. When I was coming this morning, I was almost, because I drove, I was almost eating one Okada because I was coming from the Lagos toll gate down to Ibadan. That is where I was placing. All of a sudden, one Okada just appeared on my route, and I was telling my wife and my PA that see, this is one of the things that caused my 12 traffic yesterday. On Facebook 5 days ago, a BRT bus on a BRT lane crushed an Okada man, destroyed his head on BRT lane. So the question is, where is the place of the Lagos State traffic laws in all of this? Why can't be an enlightenment program for all these Okada riders associations for the condemnation of this act? Let them know that, okay, for the fact that it is not a vehicle that has 4 tires does not make every route a valid route. Because to all these Okada people, even if it is possible,
there should be no restriction.
If Mr. Okoda's sitting room at home is possible, Okada people want to buy that place. They want to make it a route, and that is the cause of some of these things. Now, the pregnant woman that was, hit down yesterday, was it a right? Was it a traffic right to cross the road? Yes. The Okada man that hit the woman, was it his right to hit that woman? Riding one way? No. But why would these people go and start destroying things? Because one of them did something that was wrong, and they don't want him to punish it. Why? Because of this ethnic mentality thing. That, oh, he's an Hausa man. Yeah, no, Yorubas don't have the right to question his act. And that is the cause of all this. So, orientationally, the Lagos State government needs to do more. Now, finally, on this note, let me establish it here that many of those tendencies that cause mayhem in the north, that cause mayhem in Niger Delta, that cause series of spate of kidnappings in many parts of Nigeria are already in Lagos. So if Mr. Ambode is listening, or anybody from his government is listening, they should know that in as much as the north is now very tough, it's no longer easy for anybody to perpetrate any act again. Trailers and ecological buses are bringing those tendencies to Lagos. Because right now, it seems it is only Lagos that we can say we are enjoying relative peace in most part of Nigeria. And this is where we claim to be our center of unity. If Lagos is our center of unity, and everybody is still conscious of, oh, he's my brother, if you commit any offense, you cannot touch him. When you touch him, then his people will start burning and killing people. What has the Boko Haram been doing in the north? What the Boko Haram has been doing in the north is what was replicated at my 12 yesterday. Because one of them committed an offense. And because of this ethnic thing.
Sorry,
you know what I'm saying?
Sorry,
they have to be killing and bombing places.
Let's come home.
So the Lagos State government must address it.
Okay.
Let me just
Through
say this.
proper public enlightenment
program. All right.
I'm involved with Lagos Traffic Radio.
Yeah.
And I mean involved. I know of a fact that every now and then they are telling people what roads, especially when those things just came up, right? What roads they are not to take, what roads they are to take, but they will not listen.
That is it.
Now, so on
Lawlessness.
the government on its own part, as far as I'm concerned, and I know of the fact they are doing what is required of them. Daily telling people, even there were newspaper adverts announcing that. Let me also tell you that the Mile 2 Expressway is a road that Okada riders are forbidden
From flying. Yeah, from flying, yeah.
So to have even plied that road, now even going against the traffic, made the guy doubly culpable. And that is my problem.
Let the Lagos State government come out to enforce it.
Salako, let's take it one after the other. I can see how emotional you are about this.
So you see, as far as government is concerned, the enlightenment is an ongoing process. As far as these traffic laws are concerned, but Okada riders are just refused to obey. You see them on at Ojota, they will travel on the median from Mile 12 or wherever to Ojota, and then they will carry people again from that median back. And I always tell people that, look, if I'm in position, I will arrest both the rider and the passenger.
Absolutely.
Because you are also endangering your life, and you are encouraging these guys to misbehave and to disobey and break rules and regulations. You know, but like I said earlier on, the spirit of hurry, I want to get there on time, is always in all of these things. But how the government really have to be up and doing. They still need to, they were seizing, they were confiscating Okada a lot. Then maybe they should raise the army again, but that thing stopped just before the election, and then they went haywire. The other day that I saw Okada on the motor road, I was shocked, because I know it's a road that they are forbidden, to fly.
Okadas are everywhere on Lagos roads, so it's not just.
You see them on Tombola Bridge, you see them everywhere on Western Avenue, and you wonder why. The law says don't fly.
So where is the place of the
influx of people from all manner of corners of Nigeria into Lagos looking for means of livelihood? They just make it look like they are untouchable. They could do anything and get away with it.
In those days they called Lagos no man's land.
Yeah, but it is wrong. It is extremely wrong, and it is not acceptable. I can never be acceptable. Unfortunately, when the last government in Lagos sent away some people that they said were miscreants, people of no visible means of livelihood, they were sent away from Lagos. The case is still in court now. People don't understand what it takes to manage cosmopolitan places such as Lagos. It takes a lot.
Yeah, congested place.
It takes a lot, and Lagos is being daily congested.
Lagos is under pressure. Lagos State is under pressure right now. Pressure of managing some of these economic troubles.
No, it's
social
because
and economic troubles. People
see that in Lagos they can always find something to do.
But it's not, the unwanted destruction is not limited to Lagos alone.
No, it's not.
Now, let us look. That's why I talked about the issue of intolerance. That's why if you look at the failure of leadership, then there is failure of religious inculcation too. I mean, Nigeria is there is no street. Look at the street of 100 meters, and you got left and right. You're going to count churches and mosques and the rest.
Religious places.
So why are we not imbibing that tolerance? That's what is baffling to me.
Listen, there's a difference between religious and being godly. It's not the same thing.
What is the difference? Which one begets the other?
If you are religious and you are godly, you will not want to kill your fellow human being. You will wish him all the good and the wellness that you wish yourself and your family. But we just mount all this faith. We mount all the... There was a video trending yesterday of a nanny somewhere it was Indonesia that said Allah ordered her to behead 2 children that she was catering for. and then she cut off their heads. I mean, how do you explain this? There was a report about 2 weeks ago of a church in Delta State where they found so many human heads.
Heads, yeah.
So how do you define all of these things? Now, the issue of Benue State has been of very grave concern to me because it has now become a national crisis. And I can tell you, apart from Boko Haram, the other menace where Nigerians get to be killed ceaselessly is through these Fulani herdsmen. I don't want to buy the story that they are non-Nigerians. Whether they are non-Nigerians or they are is of no use to me.
At least it's even sickening to say that they are not Nigerians, and you say yes, the border is porous. Yeah, the borders are porous, and they just come in and wreak
whatever they want to do.
Such havoc, killing hundreds of people.
We have the immigration, we have the customs, we have all of them at the border.
You have the DSS, you have the NIA, several intelligence agencies.
Even if they now come in, the police that is such do the business of
internal security.
Are they sleeping?
My brother,
do they go about with their eyes closed? Will they say they cannot see those people? And then when you sit there, what do you do? The other day I got a text. I'll tell you this. I got a text inviting me for an interview, and I said the last time I attended an interview was 1985 after my youth service. Now I didn't apply for a job. You know what I did? Before going there, I went to a police station and I asked to see the CRO. I explained myself. He said I should wait for the DCO. I saw the DCO and he said, "Okay, I have 10 of suspects on my phone. Ignore them. Just go." I said, "No, this is not right. I'm not looking for a job. I need to know how they got my phone number in the first place." Anyway, I went on to that place. When I got there and I saw the setup, you know, the usual RNG thing, and I asked the lady, "Who gave you my name? I didn't apply for a job. My company didn't send any proposal here." Story. "Can I see any of your managers?" Said they are busy. When I shouted, 2 of them came out. They were doing everything to keep my voice down, and I was screaming because some people were already inside. Okay, they were already
scamming,
and they were already scamming them. I made so much noise. We had to come out because at a point I was like, these guys could kill me and nothing will happen. So we came out to the entrance and I told them, "You don't even have a signboard here. Yet you have no money to send messages around." They now told me that they are into health management. When I said, "Look, I will take you to Antoni village where we have the secretariat of the National Association of all HMOs. And let's go." He said, no, that we are under. I told the guy that you are lucky if the policemen that I reported to had followed me here. None of you will be here. And that is how it is. When I took it on myself to go and report, okay, I went to go and report. It's a pity I don't want to mention the police of where I went.
No, it's all right.
Exactly. But I went there.
Yeah.
They wasted about an hour of my time pushing me from the desk officer to the CRO to the DCO. Okay. So this
you see,
is
let me just corroborate it.
Okay.
Let me just corroborate it. You see, it all boils down on the fact that our society is a monetized society, money conscious society,
and that is what has caused this crisis in my 12.
No,
because
we were talking about how foreigners come into our country to come and perpetrate some of these dastardly acts that we talk about. You see,
the Fulani herdsmen, the herdsmen,
yeah,
they are not money people. They are slaves to those who truly own.
They have money.
My brother, those ones are not money. Those herdsmen you see on the road,
yeah,
they are not the owners of the cattle that they carry around. They are not the owner. The owners are somewhere in the comfort of their home.
You see,
they are the ones arming them, buying AK-47 for them. I'm telling you, it's a thing I know. They are the ones empowering them.
Then it's still about the money.
So it's not a money issue. Like what happened. See what they did to Sifulufa like the other time. Okay, they invaded his farm, damaged and destroyed his things. They went to the police. They were asked to pay compensation. They did, only for them to come back and kidnap the man. So if you are looking at it from the money angle, we'll be missing the main point. The issue is these people have criminal tendencies, and it is festering because law enforcement is not moving against
Why
them
should a
ahead.
herdsman be going about
Exactly,
with AK-47?
What they
An
need
automatic
is,
weapon?
So that's what I'm saying.
Well, I think it's about selfishness. They're selfish. They want to survive. They want to have their ways. They want their cattle to graze anywhere they want.
Exactly.
They don't want anybody to bat off. They don't want anybody to disturb them. Even on people's farmlands. So that is why they have to harm themselves. But what I was saying about the fact that our society is a monetized system is in the fact that if you have money in Nigeria or you can part away with money, you can achieve anything here. That is the fact I want to establish. Those who come in,
let's just see him establish
it's my opinion.
Yeah.
It's my own opinion.
Go on. Let's see you establish it.
You see, some of these tendencies that are coming through our borders wouldn't have been able to come in if they don't pay for it. If they don't, if people don't compromise, the authorities in charge of our borders don't compromise. I am a Nigerian. I have never lived in any country before other than Nigeria, and I know what is going on here. We have to start de-emphasizing this money thing. Let people
do the job.
And do the
You're
job.
talking of these people at the borders, these various agencies.
Yes, we should stop compromising. For as long as
but are you aware of the ECOWAS free movement?
I am aware of that.
That is one.
But the ECOWAS free movement did not say
you should come and kill
you should come in without being checked, without the Nigerian authority asking questions about your mission in Nigeria.
Yes.
If you are a Ghanaian, you want to come into Nigeria, then we have. If that is
they have to take a record of
then we
you.
shouldn't have borders anymore. If you are saying there should be free movement, then we should close all our borders and open it out. But the whole essence of the border is to still check. They may not say, okay, oh, you must require visa to come into Nigeria. You might not require visa, but when you still get to the port of entry, there must be
documented. You
there
must be
know
documented.
Who is coming. They must get your information into the system to know that at a certain period of time, so number of people came into Nigeria, and when you are going back, they should be able to know that you have gone out. That is not existent here.
Okay.
It's non-existent.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's another angle to our intolerance here, lack of respect for human lives. We just take human lives as if it doesn't mean anything to us. But how would you now describe communal clashes? How would you describe the kind of mayhem replicated in Taraba in Lao local government over fish ponds and lives again are lost? These are people eternalized here. These are brothers and sisters.
External people. Now, before we go to that, let me say this: you have not taken cognizance of the fact that our borders are very porous.
That is what I'm saying.
And
what makes it porous?
And that the land mass bordering Nigeria has so many undetected, unmanaged, or unmanned parts.
And that is the failure of leadership.
Without paying any money to anybody, there are free routes that foreigners pass through and they land in Nigeria.
They let the system go and block those routes, go and man those routes.
It is not, it's not as easy as you are saying. Even America,
Nigeria is not as big as America.
With technology and everything, they still suffer.
The Mexicans still,
they still suffer. It
is not as easy as that in America.
No, it is not.
It is not.
What they are saying is that the system is breached.
Exactly, it's breached.
Yeah, one man can breach the system and cause the whole man.
Yes, but what I'm telling you is that it is not as easy as that to manage a border. It's not the gate to an estate. Okay, it's a serious thing. You see, I've done a lot of studies in these areas, and that is why I said I always feel bad. When they say it's not all the cases that the illegal immigrants, they go to the customs border point and say we have 20 people to go in. No, it's not always.
I am aware of that.
There are parts where they will drive in. There are parts where they will trek and cross over. Some they will use bicycle, some they will use canoe and then cross into Nigerian territory.
But you see,
if you go to Calabar, you will see more of that. Cameroonians coming and going. If you go to a place in Ilela, in Sokoto, I mean, these are places I've been to physically. So if I'm talking about them, I'm not talking from what I read or what I watch on TV, but what I experienced.
It's like Madi and Niger Republic in Katsina.
Let's just put that
What
apart.
you are expressing is different from what I am expressing.
No.
You are talking about those unmanned border routes. I am talking about the ones that are manned.
Oh, that's time.
That the authorities compromise. That's what I'm saying.
But
They still compromise there.
they do.
That is what
I
I'm
have
saying.
seen the compromise in Idiroko several times. The boys will pass somewhere. One of them will get down, go and settle them, and then they will go to the boss. They will drive in. I have seen that. But what I'm saying is that constitutes a very meager or infinitesimal portion of those
You coming through the
Nigeria.
routes, yeah.
So looking at the Agatu or the Lao community cases, these are brothers or let me just say they are in a close community, all of them of the same tribe, okay, of the same ethnic stock, yet selfishness, greed,
hatred, yeah.
okay, then the love of me, myself and I over others came to the fore. I either have it or nobody gets it. That's exactly what happened. For me, it's a reflection of their spiritual poverty, because even if you own the entire world, you're not going to be here forever. What I'm talking about, you have 10 cars, you cannot go to sit in 2 cars at a time. You have 10 bedrooms in your house, you cannot sleep on more than 1 bed at a given time.
Even the beds is just a space you're going to occupy.
Okay,
let me bring you back to the topic of our discussion now. We've talked about leadership failure. We've talked about public enlightenment. We've talked about enforcing, even the minutest aspects of the law and the rest. How about even the existing market's leadership? How do they, come about? How do they choose their leaders and the rest? How integrated are they, without constituting themselves to like a government within a government?
Sorry, please.
Yeah.
The Okada rider that perpetrated what happened in my 12.
Can we look beyond him?
Was he a member of the market? Was he a member of my 2 markets? Was he a trader inside that market?
No, he was a commercial
motorcyclist. But because of this ethnic sentiment, he went to meet his people and he started all of that. What I want to say is this: every market in Lagos has leadership, constituted leadership, Lagos state government approved leadership.
There is the Yaloja of Lagos.
Of course. But when some of these communal clashes want to happen,
it's not the market men and women that ignited this
ethnic bias,
jingoism. Yeah,
that's it.
Again, the ethnic bias and the jingoism could have been tamed if the leadership was up and doing. So when I said failure of leadership, I had looked at all those things. Before I came on air yesterday, I did a few review, and when I left here again, knowing that I will be here this morning, I looked at that and I said, we are 50 tribes in K2 at my 12 markets.
You have the entire 360 tribes represented in Lagos.
If each tribe has a leadership structure, and they now have a central structure that belongs to every tribe, okay,
so the tribal association has failed us.
They
failed us in Nigeria.
I don't agree with that.
The tribal association
within the market unit. The idea is this: if something wants to go wrong and it involves a Yoruba man and an Hausa man, I would expect the leadership of the Yoruba unit of the market to step in. Okay, the same thing. Those who head the Hausa unit to also step in.
The Igbo one,
and they step in, and then they meet. Oh, people will listen to those who speak their ethnic languages.
You see, that is if there's room for that. Some of these things happen spontaneously.
This didn't happen spontaneously.
Even it catches the leadership. 72 hours.
Yes, it didn't. See, it's a failure of their not responding.
It was a gradual build-up that was allowed.
Now I get you. I thought maybe it happened spontaneously.
No, it happened, nobody did nothing, and like a bad wound, it started festering.
Yeah,
And
it
now
was
became gangrene.
yeah, it was like a time bomb.
Exactly.
It was
wasn't
sitting on a
related.
keg of
Gunpowder.
gunpowder,
No,
and
no,
it
It will
exploded.
explode naturally.
You know?
Lagos State generally is already sitting on that time bomb of this ethnic jingoism.
Salako,
That
you
is
see,
it.
I don't think you should
That's a
start.
stupid statement.
Yeah, that's panicking, sending very wrong
No.
message
You
because
should have let me.
I go to bed after a hard day's job here. I go to bed with my two eyes closed.
You should
know,
have.
to
You
sleep.
should have.
I was
you should
almost going to run
you-
late.
you should have-
You did yesterday.
Yeah, because I wasn't. No, I mean closing late is normal.
You say
but
Mr.
running
Godo.
late to work. No. Sorry.
I know I'm on TV platform.
Yeah, let's put it in
I
proper
will see
perspective.
that. I will see that as a stupid statement. I beg you.
No,
agree.
sweeping.
Sweeping.
Oh,
We didn't say
okay,
no.
okay.
I wouldn't
Sweeping.
allow any foul
Let me
language.
explain. Let me explain why I said that.
Okay.
Let me just explain in 1 minute.
Well, sorry,
Now.
before you explain, I must take into cognizance our very dear viewers within and outside the country who would want to join us in this discussion of the Mile 12 crisis, the unwanton destruction. And this, of course, is replicated everywhere in Nigeria. The number to call is 0816 481 8001. I'll take that again. The number to call, particularly for the unsighted, is 0816 481 8001. But we'll go on a short break, and when we return, we expect your calls. Join us again.
Mommy more. Where would I be without you? Now you be my best friend. Now you be my sister. Now you be my mentor, and you are still my mama.
Mama na kadai. Kibani doya de wake. Mama no lazy. You help me reach my peak in mama. Now you wash my infant head. Oh, everything for you I go do, mama. Now you be my mama. Mbumbo, mbumbo, eh. Imano got it again, ma. Mbumbo, eh.
Show your sweet and caring mother how much she means to you. Celebrate her with the special Peak Packs. Peak, it's in you.
Are you aware that the death percentage attributed to Lassa fever cases is currently put at 43.2%, a figure considered very high? Lassa fever, an acute viral illness characterized by high fever, muscle aches, mouth ulcers and bleeding in the skin, is harbored by rats and spread to humans via the urine and droppings of rats. To prevent Lassa fever, avoid any exposure with rodents, rats, as well as food and objects contaminated with rat secretions and excretions. Report all suspected cases of Lassa fever immediately to the nearest healthcare institution. Help prevent Lassa fever. This message is from the federal government of Nigeria.
For topical issues, Nigerians must have something to say.
Arms. We don't need arms for anything. Let them put it into education.
They need to buy another arms now. What are they fighting for? Who? Government should deal with them squarely.
Please help us bring back our guests. No money, no markets. We are dying. Everybody is crying. Nothing.
Any man God support, no man stops. It's a prophecy I believe he must have received from heaven. Yes.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
You're welcome back, and like I said before we went to break, you can join us on our discussion. Look right on your screen and you'll see our number. 8016-481-8001. Salako, let's come back to you before I put you on pause. You were still trying to expatiate.
Yes, why I said what I said about this ethnic thing. What I'm trying to explain is this: Lagos should be a home for all.
All Nigerians.
All Nigerians under one united, Nigeria. But what is happening in Lagos State right now? I know it is not only in Lagos. It happens everywhere. But in a situation whereby people will continue to live in the consciousness of who they are. Oh, I'm a Yoruba man. I'm an Hausa man. We now have different associations, different sentiments about that. That's why I said it's a time bomb for Lagos. So Lagos State should immediately come in now and start looking into how they can make everybody in Lagos understand that we are all Nigerians, that we should stop living under these ethnic, jingoistic kind of divisions. So because for as long as that continues to happen, it will continue to be a time bomb. And example is what we saw at my 12 yesterday. So I don't want something to continue to happen. Let us continue to de-emphasize on Yoruba man and Hausa man, and so let all of us know that we are all Nigerians.
You see,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm with you on that, but the point is this: I am first Yoruba man before being a Nigerian.
Is that what you are?
I have that consciousness, and it's not only me.
I thought you were supposed to be a Nigerian before.
I'm a Nigerian. I'm not saying no.
Yeah, but you should first be a Nigerian.
But I will not go out of my way to maim, to injure, or to kill anybody. I can't even fight physically. I don't have that strength.
No, but you see, some people, sociologists and psychologists, will say you're coming from a very wrong premise to say that you want to be an ethnic person instead of, a national.
Can I remind you?
You want to remind me of? Do you want to remind me of the Americans? Do you want to remind me? Excuse me. Would you want to remind me of the Americans? Would you want to remind me of the British or the Irish or the French? No. Do they tell you? Like America is a confederation.
It's not the same situation.
Yeah.
Just wait. We will not sit down here today and solve all these problems, but we must always be conscious of what subsists. Now we still feel the issue of a quota system is still very much present with us.
Yeah, with us. Yeah.
Right. We still fill forms. They still ask you to state your local government area of origin and your town of origin. So if I'm supposed to be a Nigerian, pan-Nigerian, why am I being asked to tell where my parents came from? Why am I being asked to tell the village where I was born? Okay? The system is still promoting and encouraging the division.
Okay, let me take Ogu from Kogi State. Good morning, Ogu. You are our first caller on the program. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, please tell us your thoughts about all these unwanted destruction that we'll continue to see in Nigeria. We're using the crisis that happened in Lagos as a springboard for it.
Yeah, it's most unfortunate that we lost lives in my 12 yesterday as a result of differences that could have been settled by the market leaders, especially the tribal leaders involved. It's unfortunate that the Hausas and the Yorubas fought, and of course we lost lives yesterday. I felt very bad. That goes to show that in this country, we don't have values for human life. We don't have respect for the sanctity of human life. It does appear that all that we are interested is money, 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 and money, and money. No values for human life. According to Paul Kagame of Rwanda, he said something some time ago, and I agree with him. He said any country that has no values has no future. And it's very unfortunate that Nigerians have no values for human life. We have no values for the sanctity of human life. And that's why we lost 4 people yesterday. That a motorcycle hit a woman and the woman died was not enough for all that happened yesterday. If there were no resentment before that incident. So all it boils down to that. What I'm saying is that in any human situation, there are bound to be conflict. And what matters so much in any human society is how to manage those conflicts. Absolutely. So my suggestion is this. We shouldn't go back to what happened yesterday. All we need to do is to look forward. What is the solution? I suggest very strongly that a peace summit be held in my 12 where all the tribal leaders, all the market leaders are invited to discuss on how to handle similar crises when they occur, because there are bound to be conflicts. But our ability to manage these conflicts tells our level of decency, our level of development. So I suggest very strongly that a peace summit be held in my 12, where all the market leaders, the Yoruba leaders, the Hausa leaders, the Igala leaders, all the tribal leaders there involved are invited, and of course, guidelines should be stipulated on how to handle conflict in the area. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ogu from Kogi State. Fantastic contribution there. Yeah, not just only suggesting that a peace summit should be held there, but I think that too should be replicated in where you have not pockets now, flashpoints of all these crises and destruction.
There have always been peace summits of that nature. Even in the past, the Lagos state government has always been proactive, always been involved. You see, when some of these things want to happen, they will happen where he has said it. There is no value for our basis of existence. There is no value. Some people just feel
value for human life. That's the basic, basis of existence too. You see, because if I have value for your existence, I won't tell you.
The problem is this: some people just want to live anyhow in Lagos. That is what is in their mentality. They believe that once it is Lagos, whatever they do should not be checked. Whatever, how they feel they can survive.
That's not tenable. That's not tenable. Nobody is going to accept that.
It is not acceptable, and that is why the Lagos state government must stand, her feet to say that okay, there are laws in Lagos, there are rules and regulations in Lagos. If you want to live in Lagos, you must live according to the rules and laws of Lagos State.
Okay. Sorry, I'll put you on pause, sir. Okay. Umba from Niger State. Good morning and welcome to Core Digest.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Thank you. Let us know your thoughts.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. What with you?
Please, I am so much happy in what you are discussing about the tribal crisis.
Yeah.
This thing has been happening in Nigeria, and the Lagos own is just a tip.
Absolutely.
What the other man is saying there is that it has been happening, and why it is happening is that this country is only ruled by one tribe, and if only we can agree for this constitutional conference, how can we?
What a shame.
Okay,
it's still on.
If you go to the hello.
Go on.
Hello. If you go to the Yoruba land, they are talking of the Hausas. If you go to the Igbo land, they are talking of the Hausas. If you go to the north here, they kill the minority. So what we are saying is, please, if they can be able to come together, every zone has to be relevant in the system. And this thing is what has been happening in post-military regime. The Yorubas are talking about the constitutional conference. The South has been talking about the constitutional conference. The Southeast has been talking about the constitutional conference. But the North refused. How can we move forward? This thing can generate to other things tomorrow. So please, what we are saying, we better address this issue of marginalization.
Okay, Umba from Niger State has described the issue as marginalization, that what we saw in Lagos is just a tip of the iceberg because it is replicated all over Nigeria.
That is what I've been saying. And it must not continue like that.
The guy that come from Kogi, he made a point. He said, because loss of value for human life. Now, I want to take it a step further by saying that the loss of value for human life arose from loss of moral values. There's a connect between the two. So, it still goes back to getting our people enlightened, educated. There's no limit to teaching and learning. There's no limit to expanding frontiers of people getting to understand that, look, we must live as one. Our strength is in our number, it's in our figure, our population. So if you now think you must destroy this person or that person, we are injuring, we are damaging our
the fabrics. Yeah.
We are tearing the fabric, we are destroying the fabric of our existence. These are real things, you know. It's not story. And government, this government has left unattended to very seriously the issue of Fulani herdsmen killing people across Nigeria on their farmlands. And Agatu just happens to be the worst theater of that war.
Their yams there must be very fertile, you know, very rich, and for the cows to be always going there.
The other incidents
that's claimed more
lives is this Fulani herdsmen attacking farmers, and government has to do something about it. It cannot continue. Okay, it might get to a point that those who today are seen as weak and the victims, they gather themselves together and then they react. It will become a war situation.
Isn't it already a war situation?
No, it's still one-sided now. It's still one-sided. It's still one group invading different points and different communities.
Okay, let's quickly take another caller from Ibadan. For Waterday, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yeah, I thought you'll be busy with the coronation of the Olubadan this morning.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Right. Go on, tell us what your thoughts are about the situation we find ourselves.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. See, I really buy the idea and the contribution of the last caller from Nigeria. You see, these people, the house that I make, not only in Lagos, everywhere I tell you. You see, last year I was living at LA. So during the election, when they announced the I need to pass to roundabout. They are mostly populated by houses. Nobody could pass that side because they were jubilating and everywhere was like, in fact, you see, it was as if there was war going on.
We've lost for Waterday from Ibadan. Let's hope it calls back again.
The area I was referring to is
LA
Mokola axis. Now, if you go from under that bridge, is the area called Sabo in Ibadan.
Yeah.
And it's massively populated by Northerners. And it is true what he's saying. Sometimes they shut down the road for whatever reason, and they get away with it, which I find very funny. We have had to, and you know, if we're going out, if assuming you are going to Ring Road, that place serves as an escape point, whereby you just emerge from behind, and then you are right there, you know, connecting your way towards Akpata. But they will block that place, so you are left with no choice than to go back and take the main road, you know, and all of that. This is going to stop. I always don't like to say that one tribe or ethnic group is lording it over the others, or they see themselves as born to rule. I don't like that language. I don't use it. But situations that happen tend to point at those things.
Yes.
And I find it extremely unfortunate.
How is it going to stop?
And that is why he said.
That is the question.
That's
how
why he
is
said,
it? Just a moment. Let me take Onyebui from Aba. Good morning, Onyebui.
Good morning, sir. Chris, Ogodo, and the rest of the people there.
Thank you.
I really commend you people on what you are doing, because you're actually doing a lot of job here in Nigeria.
Thank you.
It's quite unfortunate that we don't have values for human life. One of the problems Nigeria has or have been having is ethnocentrism. And this thing is coming from the northern part of Nigeria, especially the issue of Fulani headmen. Like somebody said, they are the man at the middle. the people that send these Fulani headmen are the big wings in Nigeria. They know about it. And these men, they go about with AK-47. How on earth are they getting those things? Are you trying to tell me that somebody is not sponsoring them? Look at what happens in Benue State. And now another thing is that we have a government who has refused to listen to the yearnings of the people. Because the president, Mr. President, is from Fulani. And these are his cases.
But Mr. President does not carry his cattle about. We saw his ranch. He has a ranch in Katsina.
What I am saying,
yeah, he does not
should do something about the issue of Fulani headmen. Hello?
What with you? What with you? Yeah, go on,
Okay, so he should do something about it.
Okay.
Something has to be done about it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Very well.
So if he refuses to do that, then the problem will continue because it's not only in Benue State. Here in Southeast, they move about even with machetes. If you talk, they slaughter you because they believe that they are the owner of this country. I don't know. They say that they migrated from somewhere, but we have Fulani here in Nigeria. So, and these are the people that believe that they are the owners of Nigeria. We, the Southeast or the Southwest, we are not part of it. So they are the owners of Nigeria. So something has to be done about it in order for this calamity to stop, because it has to stop.
It definitely has to stop. Thank you, Onyebuyi from Abba, and it's the Fulani herdsmen and the farmers clash again. You know, it's a really ugly situation.
Yes, I asked the question before the last caller came in. That how? He asked, how is it going to stop? And I also asked, how is it going to stop? Because it ought to have stopped. And instead of stopping, it keeps getting worse. Now, it is coming to every part of Nigeria. We had one in Lagos. No, Lagos is even relatively peaceful. But now we now see gunmen invading a school to go and kidnap children. We now see centric clashes in my 12. We now see a lot of kidnappings, blah blah blah, going on in every part. So how is it going to stop? And I want to say this for the records, that for as long as religion continues to be the problem of the whole world, and I say it, the whole world has one problem. The whole world has one problem, and that's religion. Nigeria has one problem, and that is ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism is our main problem, even worse than corruption.
I hope our viewers understand what ethnocentrism is.
Ethnocentrism is a situation whereby everybody is conscious of the part of Nigeria it is coming from. It's a problem.
Explained it to them.
So we have refused to see ourselves as one Nigerian. I can even say it is only in Lagos State here that this unity thing we preach is manifest. We are only united in Lagos.
I don't agree with
Nigerians are only united in Lagos. Once we leave Lagos to gate, you see it clearly.
Please let me take our caller. Fidelis, good morning from Benue State.
Good morning, Mr. Good morning, Chris Godo.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you very much.
Great. I know you people have been. Okay, go on, Fidelis.
I'm a regular.
I know, Fidelis. Yeah.
Thank you. I like the job. I commend you seriously for the job you have been doing for all of us Nigerians.
Thank you.
And this issue that you are discussing now, I want to thank the discussants seriously for their objectivity. But what I want them to understand, especially these Okada people, it's not just Lagos. It's everywhere in this country. You come to Makudi, where I'm living, it is where the road that does not belong to them, overtaking is always by the right. I don't know who has taught them overtaking is by the right. You go to Latvia, you go anywhere you go, Okada, they are just one in this country. But I think the crux of the matter here is that I really understand with my other discussion, that activist, at your
Salako.
far left.
Salako, yeah.
Sometimes he gets emotional, and you can always pardon him because when you look at things that are happening in this country, you get angry. Honestly, those of us who love this country to the core, you get angry with this type of thing.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
You see, what somebody has, an Okada man has taken a wrong start. He has hit somebody, and the person is it because he's an Hausa man that is wrong? That the Hausa people, section of people are seeing that he should not be punished. Let's look at the offense first before the tribalism something comes into
yeah.
I think the man from the other this in our court, it's better for us to continue to educate these people. And again, these Okada people, what about we are talking about government to do something about. What about ourselves? This Okada will be taking wrong path, and these passengers will sit on this bike, and we cannot control the people. It has to start with ourselves, not just the government. We should not leave everything to government.
Yeah.
If you are sitting in Okada conveys you on his bike and he's doing the wrong thing, stop him and caution him that you are doing the wrong thing. A lot of us will sit down comfortably until something happens. We begin to complain about Okada. Let's start this thing with ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Fidelis. Fidelis from Makurdi in Benue State is a regular caller and the regular viewer of this program. He says we should look beyond government. Why don't we address these issues first from our own viewpoints? That's the issue of morality you're talking about. I'd raised the issue of religiosity, and they don't seem to be working.
Fidelis said something that you missed.
No, I didn't miss anything, but I just decided to
That's
bring
what
out.
you want to
Yeah,
do.
but
Right.
if you want to emphasize, yes.
He says you start, with us. As a motorist, when you are driving by an Okada rider with a passenger,
he's doing the
has
wrong
an
thing.
infraction.
Yeah.
Before the rider will start abusing you, the passenger whose life is being endangered will be the first to abuse you, to point fingers at you. And that is the problem. And like I said earlier on, those, for instance, who sit on Okada that carry them on the median, say from Ojota down to Mile 12 or wherever, they're not helping themselves. Government says this place no Okada.
And where is the place of the security agencies in Lagos in this? Why do they allow them?
Did you hear Fidelis?
Why don't they stop them?
No, did you hear Fidelis? That
He
it's not a
said
Lagos
it's
problem.
It's a national
It's a
issue now.
national thing.
Of course, I know.
The issue of these Okada riders
that-
and the rest.
Remember that I de-emphasize government and I speak of leadership at the local and community level.
Absolutely.
But that is where I think
We'll be able to get it
they
right.
They live within the community. They know these people. These people know them. Okay? They should be able to step in at all times, speak with them, and then make sure that these things don't happen. But the only area that government can come in is increased and sustained enlightenment. Okay? But you cannot expect, if you say police, how many policemen do we have?
If they have community leaders on the road, and if they have community leaders, the community leaders, don't they have a part to play in the enlightenment? Are they enlightened themselves?
They refused. The Okada riders are riding with the wrong orientation.
Okay, Kayode, we have James from Delta. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Sir.
Thank you very much.
I really want to appreciate what you are doing for Nigerians.
Thank you.
It's such a great UCS stuff. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
My contribution is I think in Nigeria, we value ethnicity more than life itself. Hello?
What with you? Go on.
All right. Like the incident that happened in Lagos and Taraba will really be, it would have really happened if Nigerians value other Nigerians. Because I believe that ethnicity is just like you're being born out of consequences, not as if you should take it as any other thing. Hello?
Go on, James, go on. I'm with you.
So I believe Nigerians should change their value itself.
Okay, thank you very much, James. James from Delta State, that we should start valuing ourselves more and seeing ourselves as one.
You see, I have this to contribute.
Okay.
When the former governor of Lagos State decided to come out with serious determination to curb Okada recklessness in Lagos, it worked. Through stand regulation, it worked.
It's enforcement.
Many of these, enforcement.
It's enforcement.
And that is regulation.
Yeah.
Many of these Okada riders stayed off the highways where they were not supposed to go. They stayed off because when they were seizing their Okadas. But immediately, Fashola left.
Before he left.
No, during the election period. During the election period.
Before the election, they stopped arresting them.
Everything came back again.
Exactly.
Now, we have a new man at the ends of affair. Ambode. The choice is this: will the government prefer these Okada riders to be dying anyhow like chicken the way they be dying and killing people, or they should contain them through the existing regulatory policies? So the Lagos State government should now come out. The Lagos State government, after what has happened in my 12, the Lagos State government should now come out now
and dust its
to read
books,
the Riot Act to the Okada riders, to let them know that these are the existing rules and regulations, the laws regulating the operations of Okada riders in Lagos. And that henceforth, any Okada rider that does this or that against that law will either forfeit that Okada.
They forfeit it?
Yes, will either forfeit it or be sent to prison. Because we cannot continue with this, lawlessness. We cannot continue with that. So, the Lagos State government should now take it as a point of seriousness that there must be serious action against the way the Okadas operate lawlessness in our state. Many of us are tired of it, and I don't even like Okada for Lagos. I don't even like it for Lagos. It is too crude. It is crude for a cosmopolitan state like Lagos. But since we cannot help it, we can't help it.
In Jakarta, in Indonesia, Malaysia, Bangladesh, they ride Okada with helmets, but they are regulated.
Yes,
they are regulated.
It doesn't mean it is right. But if we cannot help it, if it is the only solution to our traffic transportation problems, fine. But that regulation, they must be properly regulated because they are frustrating Lagosians. I can't lie to you. They are really frustrating Lagosians.
Nigerians, they are frustrating Nigerians.
I live in Lagos. Anyway, so I'm talking about Lagos.
There is a permit that they should have. I mean, before you can ride motorcycles in Lagos, there's a permit you must secure. All these riders don't have that.
It is because they are coming in every day with their bikes.
They don't have the permits. Then when you say that government should come out, the traffic rules and laws, these things are there already.
That guy that eats that pregnant woman was driving against traffic.
Exactly. So
who does it mean he didn't accost any police officer on the moment he was coming? He didn't see any last man. He didn't see any security agents to stop him and tell him to go back,
I think the authorities will be asking that question. Okay, we have Ilya from Kaduna. Good morning, Ilya.
Good morning, Okada.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm very interested in your conversation. Just permit me to contribute.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a typical Northerner from Kaduna State.
Okay.
I want to let you know that a typical Hausa Fulani man is hostile. A typical Hausa Fulani man is heartless. A typical Hausa Fulani man has no regard for life. And when dealing with somebody that has no regard for life, you have to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. Now, the incident that took place at my 12 yesterday cannot happen in the north. There's no way a Yoruba man in the north will incite what happened there, or an Igbo man. In fact, the whole Yoruba community in the north will be turned to slave. I mean, what they did there is unacceptable. And I don't really know the rate at which the house plan is at Kaduna is getting out of hand. That there is no way you travel from Kaduna to Abuja without praying on your way. It has become their way of life. Now, there is somebody there that talks about the president that is Hausa Fulani. Yes, it's Hausa Fulani, and I don't know, it's like he's shying away from this very problem. And as he continues to shy away from this problem, the problem will continue to exist. I mean, it's high time for the president to come out and face this squarely. The truth is, as a president, because he's Hausa Fulani, I don't know, it's very difficult to address the issue squarely. The earlier you start addressing this issue of the Hausa Fulani rights, the better for us in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ilya from Kaduna. Ilya is very emotional about it. And
very realistic. No. Very realistic. Very, very realistic.
Oh,
no. Oh. Very, very realistic.
Yeah.
If somebody from any other part of Nigeria has expressed the opinion he has expressed, they would have said it's an ethnic biased person. But the way he has said it is the way it is. It's what it is.
And he's a northerner.
He's a northerner, and I'm happy with his contribution.
And why do we keep subdividing the country again?
Orientational problem. It is in our orientation that we are not one.
Because I would have just said straight that, look, he's a Nigerian.
Of course.
And let me remind you, for those Nigerians who don't remember, although we're about winding up, that in 1982, in 1982, when President Muhammadu Buhari was the GOC of the 3rd Armored Division in Jos, as a major general. If you remember the Chadian crisis then, how the Chadians invaded Nigeria into Maiduguri and other areas, it was then Major General Buhari that led the Nigerian army from the 3rd Division to repel, not only repelling the Chadian army back, or rebels, whatever they were, and drove them as far as in N'Djamena, the capital of the Chad Republic. So even when then President Shehu Shagari was asking him to return his men back to base, he said no, that the territorial integrity of Nigeria had been breached. You know, I don't know, for those who are seeing him as an ethnic jingoist, I don't think he is. That's my opinion, because he's a Fulani man, and Chadians are populated too by Fulanis and other ethnic groups.
They all speak outside anyway.
Well, so just one liner, because we're rounding up. Just a line, please, Olade Rio.
I still stand by the fact that we do well with sustained political enlightenment and education, hammering on the need for united coexistence and enforcement where obedience is not practiced.
Okay, thank you. Kayode Salako, one line, please.
Lagos State is not a place where anybody can think that you can come and live anyhow.
Okay.
There are rules and regulations governing Lagos.
Okay, just like
so
that. Just
people must learn to live according to the rules and the laws of Lagos. Then Lagos State government.
I said one line. You are adding another one. You're gonna pay for this now. You're gonna pay for this.
Riot Act. All the kind of riders in Lagos, they are very lawless.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a wonderful time having you here. And well, to our viewers and for those of you regular callers and even those who call in for the first time, all over the country and outside, we say a big thank you for watching our program and the topic today. Core Digest will be back again on Monday, but don't forget to join us on the lighter side of the program, Core Digest Extra. My name is Christian Ogodo. Thanks so very much for watching, and bye-bye.
Is it crazy or autocracy
Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, child looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confronting.